Well, how do wrestling fans, and welcome to State of X podcast. This is the podcast where we talk all things social experiment wrestling and just have a good time with some cool people. I'm your host, comedian, and commentator extraordinaire, Cody Tiano. Now, we don't have a specific direction. This is the first official episode of State of X podcast. And really, I just want it to be entertaining and for everyone to have fun. We're just going to talk with the wrestlers of Social X Wrestling. We're going to talk to the crew, occasionally have a special guest. But all in all, I just want it to be fun. We're going to talk about wrestling, of course, but other times we'll probably just vibe and, go off on weird things about how we grew up, all the weird things that we were into that led us into liking wrestling or getting us to this thing. But the most important thing is if you folks are having a good time. And the only way for me to know that is if you leave a like on these videos and let me know down in the comments, what you liked about it, maybe what you want to see on here, what you want us to talk about. If there's anyone specific you want on and what you want me to ask them, all those things you can put in the comment. Or just tell me that I'm being a good boy. Sometimes I just need to hear that. Before we get into it, we have some great interviews lined up, but I just want to thank you all for listening. This is our first official episode, and I'll be honest, I am super nervous for all of this, but I know it's going to be a good time. I'm going to try to do my best to keep you guys entertained. Before we go, I just got to let you know, if you want to check out our live dates, because what Social Experiment and what State of X without the actual wrestling, we have some live dates coming up. Saturday, January 24th, just days after we drop this podcast, we will be in Fayette, Iowa at the Fayette Opera House. We've got our Ice Cream Social and Wrestling Showcase on Saturday, February 7th in Sumner, Iowa at the American Legion. If you want to see all of our live dates, be sure to check out socialexperimentwrestling.com. Check us out on Facebook at Social Experiment Wrestling, Instagram, TikTok, and of course YouTube, Social X Wrestling. If you want to check out my dates, see me out on the road, I'm going to be in Denver, February 26th and 27th, and Grand Island, Nebraska, February 28th. And of course, I will be at every single Social Experiment Wrestling show as your live commentator with my co-commentator, Greg Jovi. Be sure to stop by, let me know that you're a fan of the podcast, that you liked it, or just say hello. All that being said, now let's get into the podcast. All right, our first guest here on State of X podcast, we've got the freshest babyface here coming in hot off the scene. This man not only breaks hearts, but he breaks backs. He is the Goku of professional wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Give him the utmost respect for Trevor the King Olsen. Trevor, thanks for having us, man.
Thank you, man. Let's go. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing, buddy?
I'm living the dream, man. Thank you for having me on the podcast, by the way.
Oh, of course. Thank you. I respect your time gratefully, so thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come in here. So, you are fresh into this scene. This is actually both of our first years here at Social X Wrestling, but the focus is going to be on you for right now. So,
Okay.
how you feeling coming into this?
I'm gonna be real. Just coming into the wrestling scene back in July. This is all new to me. I've never really been on a podcast before, so
I
this
barely
is
have either, so you know.
yeah. So this is all different for me. But I really do appreciate it. I'm I know I'm fresh and I'm new, so I'm not as busy as you think, but I appreciate you taking the time and having me here.
No,
Your
of course.
heartbreaking is ready, man.
So, have you wrestled before this, or this is your first
I
time?
have. I have. I've been in about 5 to 6 matches before this. I was
Okay.
gonna make a joke saying 6, 7, but I felt like that is not
Come
that
on
is
now. Not on
over
the first
dragged.
not on the first podcast.
I feel like that's a little bit over dragged, but about 5 to 6 matches, all been really good matches from Social X to Madhouse Wrestling to um, at the end of last year, I just did a pre-show for 3X Wrestling, so that was really fun. This year is going to be this is going to be a crazy year for TTKO and everything that I'm putting into this. It's a dream come true, man. Like I love this.
Absolutely, and we are happy to have you. What would you say your fighting style is? Like, I know a little bit about wrestling. I'm going to be 100% honest with you and with the fans. I'm a wrestling fan, but I kind of it petered off a little bit after the Attitude Era, which I think
Uh,
a lot of people my age kind of as well. The Attitude Era was peak, and it's
yeah,
just kind of
man.
it's still great, but would you say you're like a brawler, a high flyer? What would you say your style is?
I I think the best way to describe my moveset is um man, I I would just say more of a, a technician brawler. I kind of just like improve on the way match to match, going through like struggle during the match. I feel like anytime that I'm in a struggle during the match and I'm taking so much pain, I'm thinking and improving on top of that and learning better for the next time too. So, um, technician brawler for sure.
Okay, able to take a few hits here and there.
Yes, you can chop me down with a flat chair around the chest and I'll take it.
Oh God, I'm too much of
Yeah.
a baby about that. Unless it's a Latina doing that, I'm not a fan of getting hit.
Yeah. My pain tolerance is pretty good, so I could take a lot. Um, but I do a couple bit of pipeline stuff. I've done a couple springboard spears. That's just kind of in my move set because I'm also part Samoan too. So
Oh, really?
I'm yes, I'm also trying to put a little bit of that into it, but not so much hold on to that part of my bloodline. I'm half Italian, half Samoan, so I'm trying
Oh,
to show my little outgoing Italian side before I get more into the legacy of my bloodline and all
you're like me, all the tan background and none of the tan skin.
that. Yeah, I haven't hit the tanning bed in quite some time,
That's
so
fair.
I'm
I decided to
I'm
just color mine in, so I'm all good.
yeah, I actually got some tattoos too. I only have about six. I need to add so much more. Um,
That's for the
I
ladies to
do.
see later, though, right? Once
Yes,
you're in the
for
ring.
sure. Mm-hmm.
Are
Yep.
you,
That's all for them and for the crowd, man.
of course. All right, so let's see here. You said a little bit of a high flyer. So did you do a lot of like backyard wrestling when you were younger? Like I feel like a lot of wrestlers started in the backyard.
It's kind of funny. When I was younger, me and my buddy, you'll hear me talk about him quite a bit. We always had a backyard to use. We never had like a bunch of friends like come over and do shows or anything. We were just like pretending that we were facing the Undertaker and Kane against like big dummy dolls that were like as tall as a 12-year-old. You know what I mean? So
Dare I
I
ask what those dolls were used for in your spare time?
oh no, no, I'm joking. I'm joking. What was funny is they were one of them was like an old doll that my aunt used to have that she would put out for like Halloween and looked like a scarecrow, and then
Okay,
the other one was just like a Spider-Man that I had because I was just so big into Spider-Man when I was younger,
of course. Who
and
doesn't love Spider-Man?
we would just always RKO off this like junk truck that they had in the backyard and onto a trampoline like
Oh, thank God you
and
said there's a trampoline there.
oh yeah, no, we didn't do it on the ground. We actually like had some part of our brain back then, you know.
That's fair. You didn't do any of the things like, oh, I don't know if you've seen the guy. He's big in the Juggalo scene. That he's always jumping off of some huge
Oh,
table. Well,
yeah, he's like landing on a fridge or something
a
or a
fridge.
microwave.
Yep, and then there's
We're the
barbed wire.
juggalos and juggalettes.
Yep, that
Yeah.
guy. I don't know
Okay.
how he's got to have just like no pain receptors anymore.
I, you know, I've always questioned if it was like something that he's dealing with or just this is just what he loves to do. And honestly, it could just be possibly this is just he loves wrestling and he probably knows that
You got to
This
have a
is
little bit of both to get into this business.
yeah, yeah. Just like you gotta show who you are. He's just showing who he is.
All right. So, how soon into doing this whole backyard stuff did you decide like, all right, this is something that I'm going to take further than move it past the trampoline and move it onto a mat?
Well, honestly, okay, so I'm 29 right now.
Okay.
Wrestling came like doing it came a little late for me, and what I tried at 18 and just kind of life hit, and I didn't really have money for school. Just was kind of already going through college a little bit, and just I was just like, okay, I'll just focus on life, and then maybe just hit wrestling later. And at one point, I just thought I'm content at where I'm at. I don't really need to wrestle. Um, and then life happened. This part's going to get a little sad,
That's all
but
right.
I had a son in March. He had passed away,
Oh,
um,
I'm sorry to hear
and
that.
it is okay. Wrestling at that point last year saved my life. I did a seminar with Clay at Madhouse Wrestling, and I was just like, this is this is really going to help me through this, you know.
Yeah.
And um, pro wrestling just really saved my life, like it really did. And uh, after that situation happened, and I had to sit and think of what I was going to do with myself. I didn't want to sit there and like crumble and go down a wrong road. So wrestling just was like open at a perfect time, you know, and um, I'm doing it for him, but I'm also doing it for me just because this is what's this is my therapy, honestly.
Right.
Like I could be myself to anyone at any promotion. Um, I can be there, open arms, ready to help, and they just accept it, you know. And wrestling, just pro wrestling in general, has such a good community within it. Even if you're going through something like traumatic, um, they're just right there for you, like right when you need somebody. And
Absolutely.
I think that's what really did a number for me because for so long I've been a fan and I never like really realized how great of a community pro wrestling is.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
You
Like
never really
it is.
feel the electricity until you're like at an event. Like I always remember seeing things on TV being like, "Oh yeah, it looks fun," but then actually going to an event and just the electricity of everybody just getting involved and all, either booing a heel that walks in or somebody and the crowd just erupts in cheering. It's
Yeah.
something to be experienced even on the level that we're doing it, you know.
Right. And like you said, it's just like those moments, you know, not even just like walking out and hearing a crowd roar or just feeling the mat. It's just like the pre-show. It's just like setting up the ring. It's just like breaking down the ring at the end of the show. It's like talking to everyone that you just met at that show and getting to know their origin story and their background and like why did they come in, you know? And it just this is this is why I love pro wrestling. You know, like I'm
Exactly.
just right. I'm right back at it. It's just there's just so many things to love about it, and the community is one of them, and how you're welcome in is another one too.
It's the
So,
same kind of camaraderie that I didn't expect. I used to perform at a Renaissance fair as like a sword fighter,
oh
and
wow,
yeah, it was just something that I jumped into because when I met my now wife, she was performing, and I was like, oh, I never really thought that it was just locals doing stuff like that. And when her and I started dating, I kind of got involved, and then it just sort of it was the camaraderie of it all, like you said, like just setting up tents because you usually camp at the grounds there during the fair. And so while the festival itself is always fun, seeing the people and performing for them, it's
mm,
after hours when I promise you, almost every single time you go to a Ren fair, everybody that's working there, merchant, performer, or anything like that, most of them are tanked at the end of the night. And it's all
Yep.
just flirting with each other, making jokes, having fun, drinking, and then just passing out in the grounds, and then getting woke up by a horn or something like that, going, "Oh,
Yeah.
time to perform for the day two," hungover
Yep.
and trying to find a turkey leg to sober up.
Yep. Yep. Man, man, you had to have so much fun doing those Ren fairs. I've only been to a few of them, but I can tell, like, just like in pro wrestling, just at the Ren fair, there's just that passion that people love.
Oh,
You
it was
know,
great,
like
but it
they
was
just,
hot.
I bet, I bet.
Oh,
I used to do security, and we would do security during like hot, like 100. Like I was in Montana for 3 festivals back to back to back, and
okay.
um, oh man, it was just so hot and dry, and it was right in the middle of Three Forks too,
Ooh,
and we were also camping that whole entire time. So dry nose, just like trying to figure out how to breathe, like drinking lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of water, and God,
yeah. I
man,
made friends with a mermaid performer that all her entire gig was just have a mermaid tail on and sit on the side of a pool, and she had some system set up to where the water was always cold, and I pretty much visited her every 20 minutes just to dunk my head in the water just
yeah,
to cool off.
yeah. She's like, join in, join in.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
There's something about trying to stay in character because you know you're amongst the people and going in there
yeah,
going, "Ah, how you doing?" Dunk the head underwater and then have to stay in character as you throw your head back soaked.
right. Hey, it works with the character. I mean, it's a hot day. What are you supposed to do?
Right,
You know?
exactly. If there's a mermaid with a pool, even back then, you're gonna dunk your head in.
Yeah, you just don't see the Renaissance warriors like holding a washcloth with them the whole time.
I
You know what I
know.
mean?
Yeah, you can't have one
Just
of those. I
yeah,
don't know if they make them anymore. I used to have them when I was a kid. It was this weird piece of cloth. Let's see if I can get my. It's finally starting to get dark, so maybe try to turn the lights on.
oh
But
yeah, looks
there we go. Now I'm not washed out. But it was this
right.
piece of cloth. They used to make these things. It almost looked like a little cloth snake, but then it had the equivalent of like Orbeez in it, and all you do is
Mhm.
just soak it in water and it fatten up, and you just put it around your neck for the whole time. And
I
it
I
was
don't
great
think
at
I've ever used.
first.
I
It
don't
was
think I've
pretty
ever used
big.
it.
I'm only a little bit older than you. I'm 32, and yeah,
Okay.
that was pretty big, but it was great when you first had a cold thing draped over, but then,
Mhm.
an hour in, you've just got a wet thing soaking your shirt.
Right, and it just feels uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, let's get back into the wrestling side of things. So are what did your parents say when you decided you first wanted to actually start wrestling for real?
So, my grandma, I feel like she's 100% into it. She's just, she's not fully invested into the wrestling. So, she had a funny story to tell me when I was younger, saying that she had a chance to date Hulk Hogan and declined him because she didn't know who he was. So I could have been a Hogan, guys.
Wow.
Um,
I don't know if Mima would have kept walking after that hammer got into her.
I those pythons, man. But rest in peace.
As the great Jim
Anyway,
Norton said, there's a one. It's a no wonder that leg drop actually hurt with that hammer in between them.
that was just his third leg, y'all.
Exactly.
Um,
Grandma wanted a mustache
but
ride.
yeah, he had an amazing mustache. But no, anyway, my grandma
Yes,
declined
of course.
Hulk Hogan, and so she likes that I'm in wrestling. But my mom at first she's like, "Oh yes, super supported," and then the first match she saw she saw of me. I was in a battle royal, which was the largest battle royal in Iowa history,
Okay.
and it was just a great event. And I think there was about almost 30 plus people in the ring at the same time.
Oh, wow.
And my mom was there, and I saw her 1 minute out in the crowd. And then and I'm not trying to make my mom look bad. She just was a mom and didn't want she didn't want to see her son get hurt.
Of
So
course.
I'm I'm gonna let it slide. But she had to dip halfway because she's like, honey, there's a lot of bigger men than you in there. I'm like,
Mom didn't
I
want to see
mean,
you see her, have you see her sliding out of the seat, apparently.
it was just like 1 minute I was like eliminated a few guys, and the next minute when I looked over, she was just gone. And I'm like, okay. And then I saw her
It's called
after the show, and
motivation,
she was
Trevor.
like, I love you. I just don't want to see you get hurt. And I'm like, I get it. But she's fully supportive with me of wrestling. So I have a pretty good support system. I have an amazing girlfriend that supports me, an amazing brother slash best friend that supports me. Um, he he's always been there for me when I tried to do rap and just like a bunch of things when I was younger. And um, I he's one of the biggest supports for sure. And Madhouse Wrestling, Social X with Jason and Clay Cooper. And there's just, I got a great support system to give me great advice, to lead me in the right direction, and just to make some killer shows, you know?
Of course.
Like,
Yeah.
we're here to entertain the people. So I'm just so excited to have the support that I have, and I'm just so grateful too.
Now, are your brothers also wrestlers, or are they just kind of fans?
So, um, I don't have really any like blood brothers.
Right.
My brother slash best friend Austin, he doesn't wrestle, unfortunately, but maybe one time down the line we might be able to relive our childhood moments that we used to on the trampoline and maybe be a tag team. I've been trying to talk him into it, but um,
I just think he doesn't want to dress up as Spider-Man.
I know, or Scarecrow.
Yeah, that's true. We can make it work, though. It's a weird Wizard of Oz, the king and the scarecrow. There wasn't a king, but we'll make it work.
Right.
It's
Yep.
a gender bent Glenda or something like that.
Yep.
So, did you run
Yep.
into any like difficulties like wrestling? Like, you know, I don't know. I like myself being a little bit of a chubby individual or something like that. I don't know. I get a little sketchy getting up on the third turnbuckle or something like that. Did you ever have any uh difficulties when you first started wrestling?
So I've ran into some difficulties like in ring. Um, sorry, I'm putting my phone on the charger, so I'm just walking around. Um,
You're good.
but I've had some difficulties in ring before where I slipped on the ropes. Um, maybe it was just simply like an entrance of me just like walking in and just like slipping in on the apron or something like that. Um, Obviously, like in wrestling, there's always like hiccups, but um, by the end of the day, um, I it's kind of like I kind of consider it like kind of like rap music or just music in a general. Like if you're performing on stage and you like stutter, you don't want to just stop. You got to
Right.
keep going. You know what I mean?
Trust me, if you've been present for the last 20 some minutes of this podcast, you know I stutter.
Oh yeah, and I do too. So like public speech for me is not a big deal. Like I love cutting promos. I love being on the mic. Like if I stutter the word "and" 3 times, like I'll just keep going. Like you know what I mean? But it's I think that's what makes wrestling kind of authentic in a way. It's those hiccups that happen in the ring. It shows a realism in the ring, and it shows that hey, we're not just like a character. Like we're real people getting in the ring, and sometimes we mess up. Like
Right.
we're like I know some wrestlers like to preach perfection, but I just I don't think that there's a perfect match. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
there's many amazing matches. Don't get me wrong. There is so many great and amazing and legendary matches, but in those matches, you can tell that there was also some hiccups within those matches. You know?
If you had like an ideal match, like if it was a professional or just a guy, do you think there is a like ideal match of like I wish I could alive or dead? Who is somebody that you want to? Is it Hulk Hogan? Just to get one like you stole my grandma from me. I need her affection.
No, that's good though. That would probably have been an amazing rivalry if he
One for
didn't
the
go so
ages.
soon. But you know, I'm gonna say two people because one of them is unrealistic and the other one is realistic. Um, and the other one just kind of feeds into how I used to be when I was a child. I really wanted to face the Undertaker. Okay,
Okay.
I've always wanted to be the guy to end the streak. That was my goal when I was a kid. I'm like, if he is still going by the time I'm old enough to wrestle or I'm ready enough to wrestle, I want to be the first one to beat on that streak on the loss side, you
Okay.
know? And then Brock Lesnar got it. And I was like, I agree with it, but I also don't because that should have been me.
It should have
but
been me,
but
but also he's a monster, so
he
I'll let
is
him
a
have it.
monster. And I honestly, for where I'm at right now, I'm kind of glad that I'm going to be choosing somebody else because he's just a legend. And I really look up to The Undertaker quite a bit.
Although you have a
Um,
better chance now.
yeah, for sure. Um, man, but the other guy that I would really want to face in a realistic standpoint, um, I think it would just have to be Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
I'm just more thinking about me and my story in a way where I also want to eventually be in his place, being the quarterback of a main promotion, holding a strap eventually. Like, I know I'm not there as of right now and I'm just starting, but like, that's the end goal. The end goal is to be a legend. And he's crafting himself as his own legend, as the American Nightmare. And I just think when and where it happens, I just I really want to face him just to pick at his brain. Like you could tell in his own podcast, like he speaks with like wisdom and knowledge. And
Right.
he's like he's still I still feel like at a fairly young age,
Yeah.
you know.
How
So
old is Cody Rhodes? He can't be too far up there.
he's not over 40. I'm pretty sure he's about 38.
I don't have a producer, so I can't really look things up right now. But you
Yeah.
know,
I can't even think about it. But yeah, no, I think he's about near 40. And that's another thing too. A lot of those guys right now are just
oh yeah, he's 40.
yeah.
See, I
Is he?
can look things up. What do you know?
Wow.
That's fun. The
Wow.
perks of
Hey.
having two screens.
um, but yeah, no, it would have to be Cody Rhodes. I really wanted to say Shawn Michaels because I really he's like my favorite wrestler. Like
That
I know
kick
I've
has
been
always been the most, to me, the most brutal thing. That sweet chin music
yeah.
always looked to be the most brutal move.
Oh
Like,
yeah. And like no one's super kick is as good as his.
right.
Like even at his age, he can still do that sweet chin music flawlessly. You know?
Oh, dude. Incredible. Like, he almost does the splits when he gets it, when he
Yeah.
would get it good. Like, it almost was a full split in the air. And when I tell you I would have lost both nuts trying to do that.
I compare it to the Air Jordan symbol, you know,
A little bit.
because I always feel like he's just throwing an Air Jordan with his arm out and then his leg up. You know what I mean? So, um, no, and if when you look at matches like coming up this year, like you'll see that Shawn Michaels is like one of the guys that I like to watch videos over and
Perfect.
like try to practice too. Because like going back to like my moveset, like I I love his moveset. Like he does a little bit of technician stuff, like with like great like chain wrestling, and then he does some kicks and punches and a couple of springboard and top rope stuff. Like, but he doesn't do like really too much. He does a couple backflips, you know,
Right.
like I'm not trying to do like a Phoenix splash or anything like that.
Right.
Uh, um, Maybe eventually when I get more comfortable with springboard moves, but oh man, I just his move set was just I considered it perfection, but
Yeah.
I know a lot of people will argue with me on that one.
All right. So Cody Rhodes, you see this? He's Trevor the King Olsen's coming for you, and he's coming soon. He's coming
The
up in
king
here.
will end the nightmare.
Yes. All right, Trevor. We've only got a little bit of time left, so just before we let you go, I just want to ask you. So, the fans are gonna want to know, or at least I definitely want to know, what are the fans going to be expecting, and what do you think they'll be saying about Trevor the King Olsen a year from now?
You know, I I expected this question to come, and I can never prepare myself for an answer when this question comes, but I can give one right away for you. If this was asked to someone that is a fan of TTKO, they're gonna be like, he's came a long way in a short time. And that's how I want to roll. I want to improve, 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 and learn and learn and learn and take anything and get anything that I can get my hands on. You know, like if that means gold, if that means big, huge historical matches, or just like talking to you on a podcast, you know, like I will do everything and anything to make sure that by the time it hits a year, it's going to be completely different. I'm going to be in a whole different scene with a whole different outlook. TTKO will be even more. Um, and I don't hope for that. I'm going for that. That's just a goal. I'm TTKO is going to be out there,
All right.
and he's going to be out there for you, for me, for everyone that's listening to this podcast and that's not. I'm doing it for the fans. I'm doing it for pro wrestling. I'm doing it for anything and everything in a positive way. And your heartbreaking is ready.
Couldn't be more well said. All right. Trevor, where can people find you on social media?
You can look up TTKO on any platform from TikTok to Facebook to Instagram to Snapchat to even on Clapper, Lemon 8. You know, I'm just
Is
throwing
Clapper a
anywhere that
dating
I'm.
website?
No, 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 no Tinder. My girlfriend wouldn't appreciate
That's fair.
that.
Clapper just
um,
sounds like one of those.
I know they just. I feel like with apps they just say, "Hey, let's just put this," and they're like, "Okay, give me this money."
That's fair.
But but yes, TTKO anywhere from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all anywhere that you use for social media, I'm on there, even Threads. So
All right, perfect. Trevor, thank you so much for taking the time with us. Uh, have a good night, man.
thank you, and I appreciate you having me on the podcast, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We will see you. Are you going to be at the show January 24th?
Yes, and you are going to see a banger of a match and a banger of a show. So come see your Heartbreak King, January 24th. I almost said July. January 24th for Rewired Social X Wrestling at the Opera House in Fayette, Iowa. Let's go. Your Heartbreak King is about to go. See you, y'all.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Trevor. And folks, coming up here, we've got Thomas Hitting, one of the co-owners of Social Experiment Wrestling. We're going to be talking about the new title coming up and of course some little fun and stories that he wants to share with us. Thank you so much, Andrew. Our next guest here on State of X, we have a special guest coming in. This is one of the big wigs. We've got the co-owner of Social Experiment Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, please give your utmost respect to this man. Please put your hands together for the Thomas Hitting, ladies and gentlemen. Thomas, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. Thank you for having me on here. It's a real pleasure.
Absolutely. Of course, first podcast, we've got to have one of the big wigs on here to, bring in the breaking news, of course. Your other co-partner, your co-owner, Jason Pringle, let me know that you have some breaking news for us. Is it true that there is going to be a heavyweight championship title coming with this new year?
Yep. Like I said, there's going to be a Social X heavyweight championship that I've been talking to our championship maker the last few weeks, and we've been getting it made and working out the little finer details on stuff. And like I said, we currently got the plates made and just kind of working on the little finer details. And like I said, hopefully we'll be able to have our championship debut by Social X milestone.
All right, so you're saying by January 24th, we're going to be able to actually see a physical heavyweight championship title?
By January 24th, we might be able to. I'm not actually 100% sure if we're going to preview it or show it or not, but there will be a match February 21st in Wacoma
Okay.
at Social X Milestone. Our 1 year anniversary show is where we'll debut our heavyweight championship.
Okay, so February 21st is going to be the match in order to debut the title.
Yep.
What goes into actually making like a title? Like, I've always seen, like, even growing up, I've seen guys with like titles, they're replicas of, the WWE Heavyweight Championship or things like that. Like, what goes into making a title like that?
I say from my side, a lot of it is just kind of. So I loved drawing ever since I was a kid. I used to love drawing. So Jason kind of gave me the full reins with this one and designing it and working with our partner. Like I said, a guy from New Jersey. His name's Samson. He's the guy who kind of he's been working on our championships. And he previously had made our Red X championship that debuted last year.
Okay.
And we kind of, like I said, mostly kind of talk back and forth. He knows a lot more about the championship making kind of side of it more than I do. So he kind of asks me a lot of the different stuff that he kind of needs, like what do you kind of want it to look like, details and stuff in it. And we kind of shoot back and forth, different stuff, different questions, different answers and stuff, and kind of get down to the bare bones of it and figure out what we need for it and stuff. So
So is it really going to be
wasn't
like a shot for shot replica of like, this is what I drew, and then he's going to make a title that almost looks exactly like your drawing? Or is it one of those like, you showed him a drawing and he's like, okay, let's be real about this. We can't have a spinner plate on it and it's shooting fireworks out of it.
Thankfully, like I said, when Jason had first told me that he wanted me to kind of take the reins on designing it and stuff, I kind of just spent like a whole day kind of just envisioning kind of what I wanted for it. And then I kind of just sat and kind of sketched out a fairly decent, the best I could detailed, to be able to send to him. And then he was able to emulate everything that we kind of wanted in our championship and stuff. So he said, yeah, it wasn't too difficult of a process. It was actually a lot easier than I was thinking it was going to be. I was a little bit anxious just because I've never designed a championship before, and that's a lot of
Right.
pressure on you when you're designing a heavyweight championship for your company, that people are going to wrestle and bleed over.
Oh yeah, and everybody's going to be fighting for that title, especially on February 21st when they first get to see it. Who do you think is actually like one of the top contenders for it? Like we've been announcing a lot of the wrestlers that are going to be debuting here with Social Experiment, but like there's got to be a couple that maybe you've had your eye on, or even the fans have had their eye on, that are gunning for this new title. But are there some top contenders that people are thinking of going for it?
I think there's a few different ones in the past year that we've kind of been able to see kind of sprout out and stuff. Fans have been able to kind of notice. I think guys like a guy like Humek, I definitely can see him. He's already been kind of on a tear and dominating everybody, so I could easily see him kind of being at the top of the top and running the wrestling, and Social X, where I could see a guy like JDX, very big, very strong, very athletic, very seasoned. I could see him coming in and being able to become a Social X heavyweight champion, or even a really good guy like Ethan Everhart. I could see a guy like him, who's been on a really good streak lately, kind of eventually maybe kind of making a singles run and becoming our champion.
Okay, so yeah, we've definitely got a few guys going for it. So that's going to be February 21st, but we've got 2 dates before that. And there's going to be a lot of debuts with this coming new year, myself included, being one of the debuts. Being the new
Oh,
podcast host, and of course, being a commentator with, of course, Greg Jovi. So, is there something that you're in particular like looking forward to debuting? You don't have to say me just because you and I are talking. Is there something in particular that you're really looking forward to debuting at Rewired on January 24th?
debuting at Rewired.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I say I'm really looking forward to Jamison McGregor. I think Jamison McGregor will be a really interesting guy to see. I've never watched him wrestle before, so like I said, it'll be really cool to kind of see him come in and see what he's able to bring to Social X and the wrestlers and the atmosphere and the fans.
Okay. All right. I was hoping you might say me just because I threw that out there. I
Told
was
me not to
softball
say
pitch.
you though, man.
I was softball pitching you, man. Come on. No, it's all right. Of course. I was a given. You had to say something else. So, I also, behind the scenes, of course, you probably know I've been talking with Jason, getting this whole thing set up and getting things ready. But he's kind of told me a little bit, but I wanted to save it for the podcast, that there was a little bit of a story behind getting this. There's a brand new ring that we're going to, and you guys had to make a drive in order to get it. So what can you tell me about the process of getting this brand new ring?
I'd say a lot of it's definitely planning and seeing how we're gonna be able to time and make sure that we kind of hit every spot and we don't, like I said, lose track of time. Like I said, we had to get right off of work on a Friday, and then we're like, let's go. We got our U-Haul and 1,600, some miles traveling across the country. We're just like, dude, like, let's go get this ring. Like, there's not any other opportunity like this, like, we need to do this. Let's get our ring, man. And
1,600
we
miles. Where did you guys go?
went to South Carolina,
South
traveled
Carolina.
from, yeah, north Iowa to South Carolina, just north South Carolina.
Why'd you
Like I
guys
said,
have to go so far to get a ring? Grant,
um,
I don't know the logistics of a
of it.
full-on wrestling ring, but I'm curious, like, there wasn't anything like closer. Like, what was the reason for going all the way there for it?
I think a lot of it was, like I say, it was Austin Idol was who we, an old school territory wrestler, that we ended up going and we ended up visiting with, before we ended up getting the ring, and we were kind of in talks with him, and he had a very good, deal on his, championship ring. Like I said, value wise, when you first make it brand new, it's like a $15,000 ring, and we got a really good price on it. He's like, if you come get it now, you'll get it. And we're like, well, heck yeah, we got to go do this,
Okay. So it's
seize the moment,
exactly when something's kind of not necessarily handed to you, but you're given the opportunity of like, hey, I have, you know, an enormous ring. I can't imagine you can't get it just off of Walmart or something like that. I imagine something like that
Yeah.
is like, there's few and far between of legitimate rings to get. So I guess no matter how far you go, if you've got the opportunity to get one, you gotta rent a
Oh, heck
U-Haul to
yes.
get it. Now it's all in like, it's little pieces. Like, does the mat itself, is that one? I can't imagine that's one big piece. That's separate pieces, kind of.
So when we ended up going there, because it was completely set up, and then like on Social X, like our media team, they had posted that obviously, it wasn't just gonna disassemble itself, so
Right.
just me and Jason had to sit there and take it apart in less than an hour. And originally when we had gotten there, what we had noticed was he doesn't have a full canvas piece like the mats underneath, but it's kind of in strips. I think it was in 5 strips, I believe, 4 or 5 strips,
Okay.
which we've now, since we've gotten it, we've kind of cut it more into squares. So they're a lot easier to take off and put on and put together.
And I'm betting that thing doesn't come together with just an Allen wrench.
Yeah. No, it
Okay.
was definitely, like I said, neither one of us had ever had experience necessarily taking apart a ring before. So, we'd be out in there and you just got to figure it out. You got to think of the basics. You guys got to start taking stuff apart and getting stuff, loading it up. And then, like I said, and I think it just took over just a little over an hour for the two of us to completely disassemble the ring and get it loaded up. And then we were, handshake and heading back out already.
I bet you he didn't even save the manual for you, did he?
No.
Oh, so you were just figuring out as you go. Okay. I mean, that's one way to learn it. I mean, you definitely
Yeah.
it's IKEA furniture and wrestling rings, turns out. All right.
No, once we started doing it, like I said, it seemed a little more simpler than I was thinking it was. But on the way there, I was just kind of like, holy crap, how are we going to get this ring apart?
Right. And I'd
But
imagine
no,
you had
like
to
I
get the
said,
big U-Haul for it.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we've only got a little bit of time for you. I know you are a very busy man getting ready for, I guess this comes out the week of, like just days before we get January 24th. So just before we start this season 1, I guess you and Jason are calling this. Last year was season 0. This is season 1. So just before we start this new season, was there ever like a moment that you really remember from season 0 that like you hang on to that and you're like, I hope we have some more moments from that or like that?
Um, I think it was my first wrestling show of Jason's at Social X, and this was actually before I had become a partner of his. We were actually, like I said, we became best friends, in the last 5 years. We were coworkers, and we both share a very strong bond and passion for wrestling. And it was his first wrestling show, Initial Conflict. And me and my other buddy, who's, like I said, a lot closer in age with me, like I said, we grew up childhood best friends and stuff. We always loved wrestling as kids. And this was almost kind of like our dream at the time, just to kind of be able to go and support your friends and their dreams. And I can't actually quite remember, and I feel bad, which match it was. But my buddy's a little bit bigger guy, and he said that he had seen one of the wrestlers make eye contact with them, like, hey, like, you want to do a, kind of like do a spot, and then he must have kind of nodded or something. And then they ended up doing a move, and he lifted him up and tossed him back over on top of my buddy. And like I said, he was big enough to be able to almost basically kind of catch him and brace the impact. And he was like, dude, that was the coolest stuff ever, man. Like, I got to do that again. And like I said, his drink ended up going up and flying up and going all over. And I'm just like, holy crap, like that's action literally on your like right in your seat.
Okay.
So like I said, that's probably one of my first, if not probably one of my favorite core memories and moments of Social X myself anyway.
Okay, I got you. So there's definitely going to be more, especially with some of these baby faces coming in. They're going to want to impress the boss man. So I feel like we're going to see a lot of high flying and a lot of moves just like that. I don't know how many people are going to get thrown into the crowd like that or anything, but we can always hope. And now we've got far more cameras and angles and things like that. So we're definitely going to be able to have those moments and a lot of people be able to see them. Well, with all of that, I think that is all the time that we had scheduled for you. I know you gotta get going and get finished up with that title so that it's ready for February 21st. But just thank you so much for all of your time, Thomas, and I appreciate you coming onto the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure to get to meet you.
Before you take off, is there anything particular you want the folks to check out? Like, where can they find you on social media, or what you want them to take a look at?
Like I said, check out Social X on Facebook, Instagram. Like I said, if you want to follow me, like I said, I'm Thomas Hitting, so like I said, I co-own Social Experiment Wrestling. They said I'm a I'm a founder and frontman and bassist of a local Iowa band, Unleash Chaos. That's kind of starting up and stuff. So
You own a
you
wrestling
wanna,
company and a band?
yeah,
Oh,
yep.
wow. Okay. And where can they find the band at? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, you're good. Unleash Chaos.
Unleashed
You can
Chaos.
look up Unleash Chaos on Instagram. So we don't have Facebook.
That's all right. Facebook's for the elderly, even though I have one. I am the elderly. All right, Thomas, that is all we've got. Again, thank you so much, and I hope have a good night, and we will see you January 24th, all right? All right, State of X fans, we've got one more interview in, and this man, some would describe him as unorthodox, some would call him a wild child. I would say he's got a mustache for days that everyone will be talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, for our final interview of this episode, the first episode of State of X, please stand up and show some respect to the Hot Rod Daddy Andy. Andy, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
If you feel it, don't you feel the energy already, man? I've just been sitting here at this desk waiting for this interview to happen. Here it is. Finally time. Let's go.
You are seething with excitement, even at this
Yeah.
time of night. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Andy.
6:30 is like my midday. I'm freaking pumped right now, man.
That's the
Just
cocaine
finished
talking.
my no, none of that. This is protein. All protein. That's all I do.
Protein, my apologies. I am an old man
Protein
here,
and
so
creatine.
it's almost my bedtime. But I had to stay up to interview you. So people coming in, this is your first time on Social X. So what can people expect of Hot Rod Daddy Andy? That is a hell of a name to be coming into this.
Hot Rod Daddy Andy, aka Duke Laserfist, whatever you want to call me. I'm gonna give you the generic answer right now. Expect the unexpected. Hot Rod Daddy Andy doesn't know what he's gonna do. I just do it. My body just kind of flails around. Like I said, the electricity kind of controls me, man. My muscles, the tendons inside here, everything, just swinging arms, hitting people, body slamming, jumping off the top rope, elbows. I don't even know what I'm capable of half the time. My body just kind of goes and does it, man.
You are a one-man swing. You give off 80s action hero vibes. And I am
Yeah, just like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
You got to have that big old that cigar in his mouth like he used to
Yeah.
cut his promos with.
I come in here, I'm going to drop a nice promo on everyone. Yeah.
It's
gonna be great, man.
What's that one he did in front of the trailer with the big old stogie? The losers. You're gonna be a loser if you're not like this. I don't even remember what he was promoting. I think it was just promoting himself. And that is
calling people losers.
exactly. If you get a chance, yeah, it was young Arnie where he's just got a huge cigar in there and just talking about how much better he is than everybody. It is.
I understand. Arnold Schwarzenegger was better than a lot of people back in the day.
I mean, yeah, 80s Arnie, there was not much. There was not
That is
more.
right up there with Stallone.
Of course, those two.
I think Stallone was under, though.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely like hit for hit. I watched a lot more Arnie movies. Like Conan was one of those that kind of hit me real early on, but also I was a very big oh goodness, now I'm forgetting. It's not Russell Crowe. It's guy. He was in the newer like Avengers movies. He played Ego. Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell, yeah.
I was a huge Kurt Russell guy. I've got a lot of comics here. Like Big Trouble in Little China is the first movie I ever watched when I was a kid. And is that sort of like the inspiration with whole Hot Rod Daddy Andy is 80s action hero?
Absolutely. And, unfortunately, I wish I had really cool hair like he did back in the day, because, man, his hair was awesome in that movie.
That mullet was glorious.
You know what? I used to have a mullet, man, but it became so much upkeep to take care of that I just kind of shaved it. It's a lot easier to be bald now.
Hey, I'm getting there. My hair's starting go out and I'm gonna keep it as long as I can and do a lot of weird things before you and I are gonna be in the same boat, baby.
Yeah, join the club, man.
Right? Not just yet. I'm hanging on for dear life. You might see it occasionally split, and I'm gonna be thinning, but damn it, I will keep this. I will fight tooth and nail for my hair to stay.
The wrestling trick is to just use a spray bottle on your hair and just make it look stringy. That's all you got to do.
That's fair. Just go wild with it. You can't see the bald
Yeah,
spots. It's if it's everywhere.
yeah. End up looking like early days Baron Corbin
Oh God, Baron Corbin.
with
Okay.
his like really bad hairline.
All right.
As long
So,
as you don't look like Hulk Hogan.
whew, I mean, there's a lot of guys here. Like I've seen quite a few. I've been doing interviews. We just got done with Thomas Hitting, one of the co-owners, but he's got the big chops going that go right into the mustache. You've got the mustache going. It is a hell of a look with a lot of wrestlers keeping the mustache going. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
actually, this is trimmed down. I usually have a much bigger mustache, but I've been taking care of myself lately because, professional wrestler. So
That's fair.
I
It's
have to look a little bit acceptable in society.
it's giving. I am horrible with names tonight. What's the wrestler from the '80s? The love guy. Oh wow,
Rick Rude?
Rick Rude. Thank you, ravishing Rick
Perfect.
Rude.
Perfect. That's exactly what I'm going for.
Perfect. All right. So yeah. All right. So what are some of the? I know we were just talking Big Trouble in Little China. Is that like is Arnie and Stallone like? What were some of the big action movies that you saw that like inspired Daddy Andy?
First off, the first movie that got me was as crazy as it sounds, Predator, man.
Of
Carl Weathers in
course.
that movie was freaking awesome.
Oh
Like
my.
the coolest. Everyone in that movie was awesome. Even like Schwarzenegger was cool. Yeah. The Predator itself though was just running around like slashing people and killing everyone. And
I'm
then
just
like
glad you
Carl
didn't
Weathers
throw
was
in
in.
Jesse Ventura.
Actually, I don't know if you've seen my promo picture, and I'm sure it's been on like I don't think it's on the flyer, but I know it's on the one for next month. Very heavily influenced by Jesse Ventura.
The governor.
I can't tell you how many times in the last 2 months now people have told me it's like you really give off like Jesse Ventura vibes. And I'm like, that's awesome. Like I'll take it.
As long as it's early Jesse Ventura, not like crazy politician Jesse Ventura.
I should walk to the ring with like a dangly earring now. Like that
Yes.
sounds like something I need to get.
Just
Yeah, I'm gonna
have a
get it before Iowa. I'm gonna buy one now.
you got to get a big lip of chaw in as well. I feel
Ooh, I don't know about that. Maybe I'll do like the chewed up like beef jerky that comes in them little plastic containers. I'll just do that instead.
dude, I had that so many times in high school. Like
We,
I
we were all thought we were cool, just smacking the can
yeah,
and just
the whole
sticking all the beef jerky in your
one
mouth.
hand flicking it like even when you didn't have a can just to let people know that you did. You sat there and flicked your finger.
You know what? You're helping me improve my character. I'll just come out with Big League Chew and
There we
just
go.
stuff a bunch of that in my mouth and walk out to the ring. I think that's a look right
We'll
there.
get you some bubble gum or we'll get you a sponsor by Jack Links or
Who-
something like that.
whoever's watching this, once you watch it, if you bring me Big League Chew to the ring, I will try to eat the entire pouch before I get out there to fight Maurice. Which,
All
by the way, I'm fighting Maurice, y'all.
yes, that is the announcement. That is the announcement we definitely got to get out of the way. Hot Rod Daddy Andy is going up against Maurice at Rewired January 24th. The man Maurice has been involved in social experiment for a while, but you are coming in new to go up against Maurice. Is there anything in particular that you're doing to prep for this? A lot of smoking and drinking and chaw
You
or
know what? Maurice is the same guy I remember back in the day under a different name, Moondog. He used to be called Moondog, everybody. But I've watched him enough. Me and him have shared many locker rooms at NWA, and I sit there and I watch him. He's got kind of an attitude, you know? I don't understand why you have an attitude, man. You're doing really well. Like, you should kind of chill out and just kind of ride the vibe. But, like,
he's
you know,
coming off a
I'm,
suspension and
he,
he's going to
I
be coming
read
after
that.
somebody.
I read that, and he's making a mistake coming after me because, I'm kind of dangerous, man.
Oh yeah.
Karate moves, I don't know. Again, promos all over the place. I've studied kung fu in Las Vegas. I've been trained by the greatest professional wrestler ever known to man, Timmy Tugboat. He's not Ricky Steamboat's cousin. He's someone else. I'm just I'm fully prepared. I've been prepared since 1989.
Okay. Not 1988, like but
No, no, no.
like your green
1989
screen says
specifically.
to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. I think that was always a big thing in action movies. Everybody knew karate or some form of kung fu. That was also one of the
Because you
big
never know when you need street karate.
right. You always not
Yeah,
legitimate street karate.
you always need karate. Did you not watch the Power Rangers?
You know,
You never know when a putty's going to attack us.
there's a fun thing about the Power Rangers that I don't know if you know this. It wasn't something I didn't learn until recently. All of the scenes where the Rangers are in the full getup, that is from a Japanese TV show.
Yep.
And so they just kind of, it was essentially just like that old show MXC, where they just
Yeah,
took
what
a
was it?
Japanese show.
Saban bought all. Was it Saban? Is that what it's called?
Yep,
Uh,
Saban.
they bought all the footage of them in it, and then they just used the other guys, like the English dudes, like all the guys, like Tommy and all them guys,
Hmm.
to play the like teenager roles, which was weird because they were full grown adults. Like they did not look like teenagers. Looking back now, like
Oh,
you couldn't tell me that those were kids.
that was an 80s and 90s thing. Like, oh yeah, let's get 30 and 40-year-olds to play 18-year-olds.
Yeah, look at these adults.
Look at these children that have, you know, crow's feet and bags under their eyes.
they paid taxes and bills.
Right,
You
exactly.
want you want to know what bugs me about the Power Rangers? This is something I never like. I thought about it a lot recently.
What's
Like,
that?
they're color coordinated and stuff like that. If
Right.
I saw a dude running around in a whole red jumpsuit with a guy in like a green one and a pink one and a black one and a blue one, I'm like, you know what? That's kind of weird. The Power Rangers wear all those colors, and y'all are just running around in full blown singular colored tracksuits. Like, how does no one put that together? It's very
Right.
Clark Kent.
Yeah, the
Like,
kid, like, not only did they have their ranger outfits, they color coordinated their street clothes with
yeah, yeah.
those as well. So
There's
Tommy was always in
exactly
like a green flannel.
green.
It's like, gee,
Yeah.
I wonder who the Green Ranger is.
That guy's not the Green Ranger. Tommy, he
No,
just knows good karate.
that's a kid. That's a kid that is
Yeah.
really good at karate.
And the fact that in like the movie they were able to just do all these crazy action things like skydive, like who lets teenagers jump out of airplanes? Like who did this? Like
We
we're
need,
getting off track. Power Rangers was great though. I love that movie and the show.
well, you know how they got the rights to it was Saban was basically like, "Hey, you guys can have this, but we just want the merchandising rights to Power Rangers." And the people that they bought it from were basically like, "Oh yeah, you can have the merchandising right. Nobody wants to see this." And then Power
Yeah, this is
Rangers
old.
blew up, and obviously they just made, you know, buckets of cash on just merchandising alone.
Thank you, Kamen Rider.
Exactly.
If it wasn't for that show, there would never be Power Rangers.
Oh, that is another one that I've got to step back into is Common Rider. I see
Do
clips
that.
occasionally on
Do
TikTok.
that one. And then if you really want to get down in the trenches, man, watch Beetleborgs.
Beetleborgs, yes, I loved Beetleborgs. Oh,
Great one. There was another show. I know this isn't even part of the podcast, but I can just ramble on about it.
dude, this
It
is a
was
hang.
crap, man. They were cows that were cowboys, and I forgot what the show was called. It was like Moo something of something West. I forgot what it is, and it bugs me. But they were legitimately three cows that were dressed like cowboys, and it was the best show ever. Just like Biker Mice from Mars. I loved Biker Mice from Mars. And Darkwing Duck.
Was it a
Darkwing Duck.
cartoon?
It was a cartoon, yeah. They were cows. They were
Wild
cowboys.
West COW, Boys of
There-
Moo Mesa.
There it is. That is the best show. I used to have every one of their action figures. It did not last long, but it was such a good show. Watch that one day when you get a chance to.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna check that
Moo
out. And
Mesa reference on the podcast, y'all.
folks, when we get better production and I learn how to do things better, I will pull up these pictures of these weird cuts that I have with wrestlers, and we'll be able to see these. But for now, it's just gonna be us talking about it, and you can look it up later.
Moo Mesa, everybody.
One of
Bring
the
it back.
one of the shows like Power Rangers and things like that, like it wasn't like an action one, but one that I absolutely loved watching was MXC. Did you ever check
Oh
that
yeah,
one?
yeah. Oh yeah. That was like Wipeout before Wipeout.
Yes, it was.
It was like early days Spike TV.
Yep. it was that I think that yeah, that's what it was on Spike TV,
Mhm.
and
I miss Spike TV.
that's how I wanted to do like commentary and how I wanted to be a comedian. I was like, dude, if I could just dub my voice, that way nobody had to see my face. If I could just dub my voice over some Japanese guy or something like that, that'd be
I'm sure you could
killer.
do that. You just got to find some stock footage.
Oh yeah, I gotta figure that out, and I probably can't do it over a Japanese guy now. That some people might get upset with me.
No, but with the advances in the internet, you can do like all those other YouTubers do and kind of use an avatar that you create and make it something weird.
I'll turn into a VTuber.
Yeah, there you go. Use a VTuber avatar.
Oh God. Okay, so we were talking a little bit before I started up the pod. So you are uh, Andy is a little bit of a nerd here,
Oh
from what I
yeah.
hear. Despite his unorthodox action hero, macho man kind of vibes, there's a little bit of a nerd underneath there. Is there anything like
A lot of it.
what was your go-to? Was it just cartoons or was it comics or what was your
Huge Spider-Man guy. I am very much into Spider-Man. And I'm also a massive video game collector. I'm actually looking at my Power Glove right now. I don't want to leave a lot of dead time because, actually, screw it. I'm going
Yep.
to show you this.
That's fine. I will just sit here and people can see me and I will
Oh,
learn that
it takes 2 seconds. I have it right here in my hand right now. I don't know if you
perfect.
can see this Power Glove,
Oh,
but you know
back
what?
it up a
Screw
little
it.
bit.
We're going to turn it on too.
We're gonna turn it on.
Because, yeah, I customized this
Oh
Power Glove.
my God.
So this is my Power Glove. I will most likely be bringing it with me to Iowa. I have
Yes.
handcrafted this entire thing. Huge video game collector. Very hard to get Power Gloves that actually fit adult hands. So I modified everything you see. The gloves. I rewired everything so it would be all lit up and stuff like that. And yeah, this is my time traveling Power Glove.
That is incredible. I don't
This is
suppose you
this is
wrestle
like
with that thing.
Oh, you know what? I wrestled with it once and I punched someone and everything exploded on it and I had to fix it. So I have not wrestled with it on since. I just kind of carry it out to the ring with me. It's a baby. It's very old.
Yeah, I would imagine that happens a lot. And
Oh yeah.
but
It's a good visual effect when I hit someone with it because all the lights like circuited off and everything just kind of. But then it was bad for me because I had to go back and fix all the wires and do all the stuff on it to make it work again.
so was it a lot of was it a lot of Nintendo stuff that you collect, or is it just video games in general that you kind of?
Video games in general. It used to be that in this room I had like I don't know why, but I used to have like two PlayStation 1s. I have every PlayStation. I have a Sega 64-bit. I have the old Nintendos sitting around in there. I've got like two Game Boys. I just bought a Switch 2. I got a PS5. I've got pretty much every game system. We're sitting at my PC right now too. Like I think the only thing I don't have is Xbox stuff. Wasn't a
Okay.
big Xbox guy.
What is the uh what is the priciest piece of video game memorabilia or just video game thing in general that you have? Was there something that
Probably.
you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have bought that, but you needed it?
Uh I bought a 3DS for way more than a 3DS should ever cost.
I
But
think
that's the
that
problem with the times because once you get a 3DS, you have to get Pokemon. So I bought Pokemon and then that costed me more money. And then the Switch 2 I just bought, so that's fairly expensive.
yeah, I just bought a DS myself because my oldest daughter, who's 11, decided she wanted to get really into Cooking Mama, and we're
Oh
like,
my God, that game is so good.
yeah, which they do have a Cooking Mama game that they had for Switch, but she also wants the DS version, so I was like, well, I guess I
She
gotta
should
go
try
and find a
Overcooked.
DS. Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's called Overcooked is a good game.
Yep, I remember Overcooked. It is one of those I think that's
It's
one.
a it's a team player game too, so I think you'd be able to play with her and like help run the line.
I'm way too competitive. I'll yell at her too much. I don't
Oh
want to
my God.
traumatize my daughter like my parents traumatized me.
We've got the Mario Kart World for Switch 2,
Oh God.
and I got three controllers so each one of us can play. And my child is now becoming super competitive too. She sent me a text earlier today. That was ridiculous. It was like a statue of Gollum, and she asked me why I was there. But right next to the Gollum was a crusty looking Yoda, and I was like, "That's crazy. You're standing right next to me. Must be like a familiar like similarity." And like she was really mad at that I called her a crusty Yoda. But we played Mario Kart, and she wrote me a Christmas card that said, "I'm not the star of this family." She said, "You're not the star of this family," and I was like, "That's crazy." And then we played Mario Kart, and I've beaten her like every single time we play, and every time I do, I give them like the Roman Reigns acknowledge me thing. She gets so mad at that.
You can't let your kids win. You've got to
Absolutely
make
not.
them
She has to
earn
earn
that.
it. Yeah, you got to
Uh,
learn the hard way. Things don't come easy,
we were
especially
shop
Mario Kart wins.
we were shopping for video games a little while back before Christmas because I've got a GameCube here at home, and
That's something I don't have. That's a good system.
oh yeah, I love the game. Like there's a game on there that I have that I spent $500 on. Uh,
Oh my God.
and it not many people know the game. It's called Gotcha Force, and
N-
it's
Nope.
essentially it's they only made like a few hundred of them, like total. Like I think there's like a couple thousand if you count because the GameCube was weird. There's US version, and then there's the UK version called the PAL, and then there's the Japanese version. And altogether there's only like maybe 1,000 total. Like I'm probably flubbing those numbers. But it was a hero team thing, but it was all toys. Like essentially like toys came down that are aliens, and you had like construction robots, you had like Gundam looking robots, you had insects, you had little ninjas, you had fairies in nurse outfits, and
I'm gonna
you
have to look
like
this game up.
it was definitely an interesting game. And yeah, I the only copy that I could find, I used to own, I had it two different times when I was younger, and both times the GameStop allure of in-store credit got to me when I was too stupid to know that I needed to hang on to things. And so I got rid of it both times, and now as an adult I spent $500 to get that game back, and I'm never letting it go again.
Yeah, I've besides that 3DS, like luckily a lot of the things I've found I've kind of like sourced myself. So I used to be like a really big vintage store guy, and a lot of the things I've bought and sold have really helped me accumulate all the other crap that I've wanted to buy, like the video games and stuff.
Oh yeah, if you see me on the road, if I'm doing stand up on the road during the day, I will be at an antique shop like looking for things. Like obviously
Oh
I'm
yeah.
looking for things for myself, but I also do a little thing for my wife that if I'm in another state for like a full weekend and I haven't been to that state before, I'll bring her back a little owl figurine just to say, "Hey, sorry I didn't take you on the road and I left you with the kids."
Yeah, I was thinking about you. Here's an owl trinket.
Exactly. But then I also spent, $200 buying comic
Yeah,
books.
this was $8, but this is mine. I
Bingo,
get that.
baby. It's the thought that counts, Andy.
Yeah, $8 trinket is worth the world, man.
Right. But oh no, what I was getting to about the GameCube, we were shopping for video games, and my daughter grabbed one and was like, "Hey, can we get this?" And it was Super Smash Bros. Melee. And I was like, and I turned to my wife and I was like, I don't want to punch my daughter in the face. Like, I love that game, but I get way too competitive. I would never hit my kid. Let me make that clear, folks.
Yeah,
I would never do
here on the
that.
podcast.
But it's Super Smash Bros. Melee. I don't want to traumatize my kids.
Yeah, no, I don't lose in that game.
I don't.
As I say, it actually in one of the videos on my TikTok or it was on my Instagram, one of the two, mid match, I had a hardcore match not too long ago. I beat a guy up. His name's Muggsy James. I beat him up, and I walked him to the chair where there were video games set up, and it just so happened to be the new Super Smash Brothers. So I beat him up, gave him a controller. I took a controller. We had a match mid match of Super Smash Brothers, and I won. And then I went back to beating them up in the ring. It's the
That's
most hilarious
awesome.
thing ever.
There's a that is so awesome. There's some there's a picture going out, or it's an old internet photo of somebody on like a log flume ride, and each person, like one person's holding a GameCube, another person's holding a controller, another person's holding a TV, and they've got Smash Bros on the TV somehow. I don't
How
know how
did they
they did.
do that? They must have had a power source.
They had to have, it's either a power source or they just slapped a picture of it on there, but
Yeah.
it's a great photo.
How did they get on the ride with those things?
Right, and definitely,
They
there's
just
no way I
walk
would take
on.
a GameCube onto a log flume.
Yeah, that's water.
Exactly.
Someone just brought a whole TV.
Oop.
I would imagine if they brought one of the big CRT TVs, like the huge like box ones,
Oh my
just
God.
tear it down.
You
Play
lose
it the
that.
real way, nerds.
Yeah, you hear stories about too many people, getting killed from a roller coaster because their shoe flew off. Imagine you drop a CCTV off a roller
Yeah.
coaster.
Whoops.
Oh, good lord. That might be your new finisher. Bring us an old
TV.
box TV and smash it on somebody.
I can make that happen. I just gotta find one.
Was that something I know I asked we had TTKO here early on the podcast. I asked him, is that something that you did when you were younger? Were you a backyard wrestler?
No, you want to know what's funny? I didn't do. I mean, I like beat my brothers up. Like we all just kind of fought and emulated wrestling, but there was no like backyard wrestling anything. I mean, a couple times we might have taken mattresses out into the yard and like beat each other up on them, but nothing where it was like a group of our friends. I was huge into skateboarding. I did like 16 years of skateboarding. We did a lot of that. I played baseball. I played football. I did music for like 5 years. That was a huge thing. And that's what I thought I was going to do before professional wrestling. And then wrestling kind of came about because I was in college and I was tired of being a forensic scientist. My nephew happened to have a birthday party that was wrestling themed. And I just thought, like, oh, there's going to be toys and stuff like that. But no, they rented a whole ring, had a whole show. And then I found out how to get into it. I met a guy by the name of Dwayne Gill, who used to be Gilbert in the WWF back in the day.
Okay.
And he told me I was the next Shawn Michaels. I now know he lied to me because I am not the next Shawn Michaels. I am not that good. But it was enough to kind of pump me up and get me into wrestling. I finished college. I didn't just drop out. I did my 4 years and I was done. And then since then, I've been just wrestling, man. It's been like 11 years now. So
That's
I'm
the
kind of
second time Shawn Michaels got brought up on the podcast, by the way. TTKO
a
and I talked about the Heartbreak Kid as well.
He's not my guy. My guy was always Brett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Brett,
I was a Brett guy. I was a very big Roddy Piper guy. Like that. That's my guy. Like, and I'm really mad that I never got a chance to meet him.
oh, you didn't get a chance to meet him. See,
No, there was a show back in Maryland. I had a chance, and I ended up getting booked somewhere else, and I missed it. And then I just never saw him again.
damn. See, my guys were I was real basic, and I said it earlier. Attitude Era being peak wrestling time for me. I kind of petered off afterwards, but my guys were always Stone Cold, of course. Shawn
Yep.
Michaels was a big guy for me. I loved Rey Mysterio, honestly.
Mysterio was good. I like of the Attitude Era guy. I was, everyone's Stone Cold Steve Austin guy. There's
Right.
not a single person I've ever met who's just like, I don't know Steve Austin or I don't like Steve Austin. Like everybody
Everyone
likes Stone Cold.
everyone knows the rattlesnake. You smash the two cans, you slam them down.
Yeah. I mean, people do that as celebrations in other sports, like, and you still get what chance everywhere. Like he is solidified as like top athlete. If
Have
you,
you seen the video of the autistic guy, or no, got Down syndrome? It's fucking awesome. Props to
the
him.
glass bottles
The
over
glass
the pool.
bottles where they're like, "Don't go in the pool," and he's just walking to the pool, like, "Don't go in the pool," and he just bam breaks both bottles. They're like, "God
No
damn
beer.
it!" That guy is awesome.
That was funny. That is hilarious. I've seen that video like 4 or 5 times pop up on my TikTok.
Oh my God, incredible! I watch it every now and again when I need a little serotonin boost. I gotta see the guy imitate the rattlesnake. Oh,
I wish I had a way of doing that. I'm not a huge beer drinking guy. Maybe I'll just carry protein cans to the ring and drink those, but they're all chocolate milk, so I'll probably get real
oh yeah,
sticky.
you
It
can
sounds
do it with
disgusting.
you can do it with anything. We'll get you.
Yeah, water.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I stopped. I'm going on. It'll be 2 years in April that I quit drinking,
Heck yeah.
but I'm not completely sober. I still I'll take an edible here and again. I decided not to tonight because it's the first podcast, so I decided to do this one sober. But folks, just know Cody might have a little bit of a treat before a podcast every now and again.
Hey, it's legal in Iowa, I think. I don't know much about their laws.
It's not.
It's not legal in Iowa. We won't tell anyone.
That's why I said it's a little treat. I didn't say what kind of treat.
He's gonna have a tasty cake, y'all.
Exactly.
If you know what that is.
Oh yeah, I remember Tasty Cakes.
There we go. I didn't think they were a Midwest thing. Like I know they're an East Coast thing, but like I don't think I've seen many out here. I only see Little Debbie stuff everywhere.
It is mostly Little Debbie. I'm on the road a lot, so I've seen some Tasty Cakes here and there, but yeah, Little Debbie's the big one here, and that
Yeah,
is,
crimpets are the best.
oh dude, I will smash an oatmeal cream pie over anything.
A cold one is real good. Maybe that's what I need to take 2 oatmeal cream pies and just and just
Yes. What my dad used to do is the ho-hos, the little chocolate
yep,
rolled up things that
like the
he
Swiss rolls.
yeah, Swiss rolls. I think in the 90s they were called ho-hos, which of course
Yep,
they had to change that. But
stick them in the freezer,
stick
eat
them in
them.
the freezer. That was the go-to.
I used to do that with Nutty Bars too, man.
Oh, Nutty Bar, that thing almost would get solidified. Like
The,
you
the
chip
little
it.
the little the little wafer ones with the peanut things, they're so good.
Yeah, those
You don't
things.
leave it in there. You don't leave it in there long, just enough.
Oh yeah, you leave it in there for too long, you chip a molar.
Oh yeah, it's a rock at that point.
All right,
I don't know what social experiment expected of this podcast, but they're getting food, they're getting Spider-Man, they're getting Arnold Schwarzenegger, they're getting everything else but wrestling for me.
baby, I've got free reign on this podcast. I am the host. I am the commentator extraordinaire. I say what's going on this. Well, I don't say. You folks at home say what's going on with this. If you enjoy me chit-chatting with guys like Andy about snack cakes and comic books, then let me know in the comments below. If you want us to talk more wrestling, I will gladly talk
We
more
can talk
wrestling.
wrestling.
But I feel like just hanging out with a wrestler talking things like this, it's a good time.
Yeah, this is, I mean, everyone can ask you, like, what got you into professional wrestling? Like, what put you there? I can't tell you how many times I've been asked that question, man. Like, I got into it because I like entertaining people. That's like the easiest answer. Like, all I've ever done is entertain people. Skateboarding, music, like, all I've ever done is this stuff. So I don't know what else to do. So
Right.
it just kind of happened perfectly.
We'll spend 30 seconds to 2 minutes talking about, how you got your start. That way we can get that generic thing out of the way. But I need to know what your stoner foods are and what mammal you think you could take in a fight.
All right. So I don't actually smoke either. I'm a pretty good boy.
Okay,
Uh,
that's fair.
but I have done the edible things, and you know what's wild is it doesn't really affect me too much. I'm kind of just regular, which may be the effect. Maybe I'm just affected in that way where I'm just like,
You've
but like,
become regular on an edible.
yeah, that's crazy that I just become. That's my weakness. I just become a normal person. Mammal that I think I could beat up.
Give
I don't know, man.
me
Uh,
something wild, because mind you, I'm pretty autistic when it comes to animals. I'm a
dude,
little.
I'd probably mess up a groundhog. Like, could you imagine like a live action like whack-a-mole type thing? Like one comes out of a hole and just
They
and that
might be
doesn't
too
seem like
fast for you.
yeah, and that also seems like an animal someone could beat up without being high. So maybe something tougher. I need something tougher. Give me something tougher to beat up.
Oh, you don't
Do
have
I,
to.
do
You don't have to be under the influence to fight the mammal. I mean,
I,
maybe you
no,
do. I don't know if that's your pre-show ritual.
I could definitely beat a groundhog without doing that.
Yeah. Okay.
So uh, not a bear. Definitely don't want to fight a bear. That'd mess me up. Tracy Smothers could do that though, not me.
You got a panther behind you. I know you can't take on a panther, but what about like a puma or a wolf or something?
Actually, the panther you see behind me is what I anamorph into. So,
Oh, okay. But
Animorph reference.
it's that really awful like 90s Animorph style. It's not this new one where it's like really well done. It's
Yeah,
that horrible like you get cat eyes first and then like little
my
sprouts of
body stays
hair.
human.
Yeah, and it's the real awful transformation where it looks really uncomfortable.
It doesn't complete. I just get like half a panther face. And I'm like, help!
You look like the kid from Jumanji where he
Oh
turned into the
God.
monkey. Where they just put a couple of patches of hair on him. He looked more like a Robin Williams son than he did Monkey.
There we go. Yeah, I'll fight. I'll fight like the let me fight a cougar, man. That'd be cool.
Okay. Go Ricky Bobby style with it. Get a
Yeah.
cougar in a car.
If you're not first, you're last, and I would be last if I didn't beat the cougar because I'd be food.
Yes, of course. Sometimes I feel like I'm finding a cougar when my cat's trying to get fed in the
Yeah,
mornings.
my dog is currently at my door whining to get in. She does not like being separated from me.
That's fair. I've got two of them sleeping on blankets beside me. Thankfully, I was able to take them out because otherwise they'd be right up on the edges of my desk trying to take all the attention. And of course, the second people see that on there, they'll just be like, "Oh my God, puppy!" And I wouldn't be able to get their attention
Yeah.
anymore. They'd be the star of the
I,
show.
I've got three dogs. So I've got like a very tiny one who is the one who's like attached to me and she's at my door. And then I got two giant ones that are about 100+ pounds.
And I'm betting the tiny one's the leader.
Yep, she absolutely is. She is a bully.
What kind of dogs are they?
Uh, Rosie is a mountain feist. They're kind of like Jack Russell Terriers, but with long legs, and they have
Okay.
like a lot of black spots on them. Bruce is a black mouth cur. They're like these black muzzled dogs with like tan faces and all this other stuff. He's supposed to be like some kind of Alabama hunting dog, but he's fat and lazy, so he's good. And then our other dog, Bear, we have no idea what he is. He kind of came to us off the streets, and we had no intention of keeping him, and then we kept him. So
Just one of those random mutts. There's again,
yeah,
I'm
he's
referencing
like a
internet
black dog
culture.
with a pit bull head and a Labrador body.
There's some TikTok reference that my wife and I make all the time about like found dogs where there's some people boasting about their $200 or $6,000 poodle. It's like, hey, that they stay inside and they eat, the finest foods. And then there was one
Oh yeah.
guy that shows a picture of two mutts and he's like, "These are my dogs, Chonko and Fuck Ass. I found them in a dumpster and I love them more than life itself."
Yep, all my dogs eat like garbage. They love their food. They're all from shelters, except for the one who came from outside on the streets.
Yeah, mine I got from my boss was selling a dog because his had puppies, and so I got a little dash hound, and that is the ball of energy, Smudge. My oldest daughter named her, and then my big boy that I've had for almost 10 years now that I took with my divorce and things like that. He came with me, Buster. He is half bloodhound and half Labrador, and he just woke up because I said his name.
Oh boy. My dog is currently going nuts, and I just realized my phone hasn't been charging this whole time.
All right, well, we've only got a little bit of time left, so just before we have you take off, uh, like we've been saying, the first show is January 24th. Now I'm messing up. January 24th in Fayette, Iowa. Andy, what are the people going to see when Hot Rod Daddy Andy comes down and takes to the ring to go up against Maurice? What can the audience expect?
Like I said in the promo, if you've taken the time to watch it, the Hot Rod Daddy Andy is pure electricity. Already just sitting here in my chair, you can tell I'm a bundle of energy ready to explode. And let me tell you something. The Hot Rod is going to explode. The Hot Rod's going to take this fist. He's going to punch that stupid beard right off Maurice's faces. Punch him so hard that maybe he'll remember who he is. Maybe he'll chill out. Maybe he'll become a cool guy again. The Hot Rod Daddy Andy is bringing that pure adrenaline, that pure electricity. I'm ready, baby. So is my dog.
He is absolutely ready. Andy, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast and
You're
hanging out
welcome.
and nerding out with me for a while. It was
Oh yeah, wait till the boss sees this whole thing and he's like, I can't wait to hear what Andy's got to talk about. Tasty cakes.
Dude, honestly, I will love to have you back on and we will nerd out for even longer. I could
Oh
talk
yeah.
with you for an hour about snack cakes and comic books.
I'll have better lighting. I'll show you all my collection of Reebok pumps and my boombox and all the other things I have.
Perfect. All right, Andy, I think that is about the time your phone's going to die. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that was episode number 1 of State of X podcast. Thank you
Number
all
one,
so
baby.
much. If you have a chance, please, I would love it. If you like the video, comment what parts of it you enjoyed. Give us a follow. I would really appreciate it. We're going to be putting these out once a month. If it takes off and gets a little bit more success, maybe we'll put some out a little bit more, but we're going to do it just in between shows. Please follow us. Follow Andy. Follow all of the people that we interviewed. You can find me, Tiano Comedy, on all platforms. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, because I'm an old man. Follow Social Experiment Wrestling. Check out all of our live dates. Thank you all so much, and have a good night. Love you.
It's the state of X.